Waylon and I are out mushroom hunting today, and just getting out and taking this little hike. You can see there's a bee on this flower down here by the creek. I'm fixing to show you something that is sad. A couple days ago, we got 1.5 inches rain. I'm going to tell you, folks, I see leaves and stuff dying that usually it looks like fall. You probably see some of the old leaves over there, but we've seen a whole lot of them driving down here to the creek. It's dry, folks. This is our creek. No water. It is dried up. That's scary. We need some rain. Bad, bad. Just turning you around here. All it is gravel. I mean, it's perfect time to walk and explore in it, but it's not something you want to see. See, there's yellow up there, too. I mean, like I said, it looks like fall, but it ain't. It's dry. Like Waylon said earlier, you know, it does. It looks like death. It's kind of scary. I mean, we need rain. Pray for rain. Anyhow, we're going to take you along mushroom hunting. Show you some cute stuff along the way and hopefully find some mushrooms. We love these old trees here. We'll walk over here. I've always thought this looked like a, I don't know, an octopus or something. I do love these tree trunks. And there's been too many pictures to count, probably, inside that tree there. It can about hold a family, but people stand around on it, and then there's this one right past there you can probably see. And they're beautiful. They're good for taking pictures, and it's right in the middle of the creek whenever it's got water in it. But, yep, getting pretty concerned. I told Waylon that we need to come down here, and there's little stumps down here that we could plant some plants in. They'd vine down this, it'd be cute. Just like a planter.
Okay.
Yeah, a little old mole.
I just want to keep him as a pet.
Ain't he cute? He's probably hot and wanting water too. Waylon just spied this. I have no idea what that is. Looks like a, I don't know. Guess I'll identify it later, but give me a good picture here of it. Oh no, oh no.
He landed on it.
I don't want that close to him. Is he off of me now?
Yeah.
Ah! Me and Waylon was just talking here, and I was telling him earlier that for years I've took him out in the woods, and I've showed him what mullein is, and we've mushroom hunted and different stuff. And I told him, you know, when I was a kid, if I told my daddy I was sick, he went and dug some herb, or he, that thing just flew back over here and landed on my arm and then took off again in front of me there. I don't want him to sting me. That big thing, I bet that'd sting bad. Burn. But anyhow, my dad, he'd go dig up some herb, or some root, or get some kind of herb and bring back that made you wish that you had never told him that you was sick, and tasted terrible, but always worked. And he would tell me what it was, where he got it. When I was well, he'd take me and show me where to get it, how to get it, everything else.
Butterflies.
And I just didn't pay that much attention. As a kid, it really didn't matter to me, and I didn't think it ever mattered to me. And my mom showed me all these things too. And you see all kinds of sign back here. The turkey and stuff. I know, I jump around on subjects. I'll finish this one.
That might be the mole.
I don't think he'd make that loud a noise. We're hearing some kind of noise.
Kind of like a turkey sound.
Yeah, kind of like turkey. I was just fixing to tell you guys. I know I'm getting off track here, but there's all kinds of signs back here that I told him look like turkeys again. Years ago, turkeys were plentiful here. And then I think things have
Changed.
Predators, yeah, it has changed, and they're almost extinct. It seemed like in this area we didn't see very many at all, and it was very troublesome. I didn't like it, but we're seeing a comeback now. We're seeing more turkeys, we're seeing more signs, and we're seeing a few turkeys. So that makes my heart happy. Waylon had seen a turkey when we was in the backfield digging up turnips one day. He saw one fly up, and I've been hearing some, and everybody else has, heard or spotted some along the way.
Turkeys might be up in trees.
We would normally have a whole lot of mushrooms, and it's been so dry back here in our honey hole. We hadn't come across anything yet. But what I was saying about when your parents or grandparents are teaching you, like I told Waylon, the reason I'm teaching you these things, and I know you might not think it matters now, but it will when you're an adult. I wish I would have listened to my parents more. I wish I would have learned all them things. Most of the things now as an adult, I have researched or read books on, or, went back and watched some videos or something to learn these things because I didn't pay attention when they was telling me. And I told him, I said, I want you to learn these things so that you can, one of these days, you can be picking mushrooms with your kids and teaching them, or your grandkids. And you can also be going out and getting the kind of medicines you need out in the woods if they're not available to you otherwise. And these things are important. This is our food source. This is our medicine source. God put everything that we need on the earth out here, if we'll learn about it, to take care of any kind of ailments we have. And I need to be learning more about the things about taking care of ailments and tinctures and, all that to take care of our health too. Like I said, I'm still learning myself, and if I'd have paid attention when I was younger, my mother and father was a wealth of knowledge for that. So, kids, grandkids, listen to your parents or grandparents that are trying to teach you this, because it could literally save your life someday. We've had shortages of stuff. I know that sounds extreme, but we've had shortages of stuff to where you couldn't get anything. And, there's stuff out here that we can take care of ourselves without having to rely on the food chain or, medicines that are man-made, that are not as good for you, I don't think, as the things that you can get out here in nature. So I know I got a little long-winded, but that is important. I mean, it really is important. I think maybe if we start out when we're teaching our kids, telling them that, if my mom and dad had told me that back then, that, I may need it to save my kids' life someday, or to feed them or something, then it would have meant more. They knew that's why they was teaching me, but I didn't know as a child that. So I explained that to Waylon on the way down here today. Because we'd found some mullein on the way on our little walk.
Track that. That was a deer.
The deer track?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's like a little hole through it. Or maybe a hog.
And then when I was telling him about the turkeys and all that, being kind of extinct there for a few years and not seeing him, worried about them being extinct, or getting extinct. He was saying that, what'd you say, monkeys and pandas?
Yeah.
Is that right? Want to misquote him. But he said that they're becoming extinct. I hadn't heard that, but getting in some sawbriars down this direction. I'd like to show y'all some wildlife. I hope we see some deer or some turkey down here. Y'all may get bored to death hearing us talk about all this, but I wish there was more action in the video right now. Not like snake action or anything, but, you know, like deer or turkey or rabbits or...
We found is a mole.
Yeah, he says first animal we found is a mole.
At least we found something.
Yep. He said, that mole scare you? I said, no, just the thought, or hearing something move in the, you know, in the leaves, of course, scares me, because first thing you think, snake. And I don't worry about it while I'm out here, because it'd rob my joy. I'll deal with it when I come up on it. They're usually as scared of you as you are of them, like I told Waylon. They're wanting to get away from you, just like that little mole wanted to get away from us. He's like, can I take it for a pet? No. Oh, come on, he's so cute. He's right out here where he wants to be, Way.
Yep. Might be a boy or a girl. Might have babies.
Oh, yeah, see, you might take him. He might have babies out, or she might have babies out here somewhere, and then they'd be without their mama and maybe starve, so you want to leave things where they belong.
Yep.
I was telling him that we've been hiking for a bit, and he ate a few pork rinds for breakfast, and I ate a little nutrition breakfast bar thing. That's been some time ago. My belly just growled out loud, so pretty good indication. Need to sit down and eat. I don't know if you can hear that bird. Anyhow, we brought us a little picnic lunch for back here. Food always tastes so much better after you've walked and hiked, and of course you're hot and can't eat too much, but just enough to keep your nutrition and energy up. Anyhow, we weren't seeing any serious signs of something digging right there. And over there.
Either turkeys or hogs or deer.
Yeah, we do have a few armadillos in this area now.
True.
My sister and them used to live in Andrews, Texas, and we didn't have armadillos at that time. I always tease and say that my brother-in-law Raymond brought them back. I think he hauled some in. Not really, but I guess he could have. But anyhow, I guess they've just migrated this way. Anyhow, I was telling Waylon, I said, I can't believe we haven't found any mushrooms back here yet. And I said, I hope it wasn't just a waste of time. And I love his response. He says, well, just tell him what you said.
It's not for nothing. We found a mole, and it's good exercise, and we can find like other animals and all that.
Yep, he's smart.
Yeah, and we get to explore nature.
Yeah, we get to explore nature, he said. And I thought, well, my cup runneth over to hear that, because it's hot out here, guys. I mean, it's sultry. You seen he's got a little rag around his neck. I brought a little rag that we was going to wet in the creek if it was got too hot, and put around my neck. There's not even any water in the creek.
We could probably use our water bottles.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do if we do get too hot. We do have bottled waters, and so we'll have fun anyhow. But yeah, did my heart good to hear that. I don't know if these kind of like similar little bean things hanging down. About like they're a little bit like the ones on the catalpa tree, or I don't think that's what that one is. There's a bunch of spiders still, and I guess spider webs too. I guess because look at that, Waylon. I'm sure those are medicinal. Okay, guys, first cool thing to show you besides the mole. I'd say those are medicinal. Like I said, I'm still learning all of them, so I need to snap a picture of these. I grew up eating mushrooms. There's hunting mushrooms. There's 5 or 6 of them that, or 7, 8, I don't know, that I pick, and I definitely know what they are, and I enjoy it. See a deer trail? Yeah. That's what I was telling them yesterday on here, that while we're mushroom hunting, we look for deer trails too, and signs, and hunting signs so we can put food in our freezer. But yeah, some of the mushrooms I'm still reluctant about, and I am wanting to try those things, you know, as I'm positive about them. So anything I show you on here, I would want you to research too. Don't take my word for it at all. Now the ones we eat, like I said, I do know those, you know, the ones I'm very familiar with, but I would still rather you do your own research and be positive when you're looking for it. Go with somebody that's the best thing to do, is go with somebody that
is an expert.
Yes, is an expert, like Waylon said on it. We're not experts. We're just amateurs.
As long as you know them, it'll be A-okay.
Yeah, as long as you know them, it'll be A-okay.
We have a heart-shaped leaf.
The redbuds have heart-shaped leaves, but there's other plants and things to do too. Here's another. I was going to tell you about that one a while ago. I get sidetracked. I don't know if I told you or not. I think the ones that grows on the trees are polyspores. But most of them are medicinal. You can usually make I've heard that you can make I know tinctures out of them, but some of them I think they make teas out of too. And I was watching an expert. You see this one, Waylon?
Yeah.
I don't know if these are as tender as, oh, they are. Look, I'll show you how I can move that one. That's one thing. Even as dry as it is, of course these are probably fresh, but most of the time those are a little hard. Turkey fan ones are usually hard, and usually the medicinal ones, but the ones that Paul and I found a few days ago, they were real pliable, and these are pliable. Well, we are finding a few of these mushrooms, Waylon, so it makes me feel like we might find some edible ones too. I have hope.
There's some flowers right here.
Yep.
Yellow little flowers.
Now, we may get on down our creek here, and sometimes on down the creek there's water in it, even when there's not at the spot that we came across. We have also found a place that is, it quite honestly looks like, there's a bunch of them on that too. That looks like a spring going down into the ground, and I mean the water, we've always said we may have our own cave out here because the water just goes straight off into the ground. Blech. Get tongue-tied. Start over here. Words, they're hard for me sometimes. I ain't been talking long. But anyhow, it pumps gallons and gallons of water right off into the ground there, and then it keeps it from coming on down the creek, and that causes our park to dry up down here. It used to never dry up down here, but we don't get the rains, I don't think, that we used to either. A lot of things have changed in 30 years on the little farm. I mean, on our homestead, and we'd most generally have a more nutritious breakfast than we had this morning, but we wanted to get out there before it got too hot and take care of all of our critters, so we was more worried about them than our nutritious breakfast, I guess. But I'm going to tell you, like I said, he ate a handful of probably pork rinds, and I had a little bit tiny nutrition bar, but we sit down here on this log that the Lord provided for us here, and it's our bench, and this is our view. And it might not be much to most people, but I tell you what, it sure makes us happy. I had air fried some cheddar brats and cut them in half, and we had a half a cheddar brat on a bun, hot dog bun, and boy, it was good after no more than we had for breakfast and as much walking as we've done. And we drank some water, and we having us a good time. We want to show you this little tree over here. I don't know if you can see it too good here. It's about to fall over. I told him to be careful when he got by it a while ago. He kind of kicked at it and it about fell over. He's going to climb it. I'm like, I don't think it's safe, and he figured that out too, but pretty cool. I wouldn't trade sitting right here and having lunch out here in these woods with my grandson for anything in the world. We have a good time. And just the time together. We get out here, no distractions. Except for maybe a baby mole or something that kind of spooks you every once in a while, like a snake or something. But other than that, we good.
Yep, we good.
We see pretty flowers and everything else. Well, we're going to finish up our lunch here. I was just going to show you the little view and tell you how grateful I am for my grandson, Waylon. And that he'll go with his little old Nana. Still spend some time with her at this age. He's 10 going on 11. No, 11 going on 12. Oh, man. See, he getting to that age where Nanas ain't so cool anymore, and there's a whole lot more fun things to do. And he's kind of got at that stage last year anyhow, but every once in a while, he's like, oh, yeah, I'll go with you. Used to is I go with you every time. Now you ask him sometimes, it's like, oh, maybe another day. It's like, oh, I miss my little buddy, but I realize they grow up and they want to spend time with their friends or doing different things. But he made time for me today, and I feel blessed. See him under there? See that orange under there? And Waylon done picked that one. Something's been eating on this one over here. See it, Waylon? It's away from that. And then there's some little turkey fan ones on that one too, but you see that orange right there? That's a pretty good size one, but like I told Waylon, you see that dry around it, it's already past its prime, but I have faith that we are fixing to find us some. I was just telling Waylon for us to be a little quieter. I'm going to film this and I'll shut down for a minute. I was telling him when you find those chanterelles, I was having him to smell it. They're kind of a fruity smell, a little bit like a apricot or peach, or when you know the smell, you know the smell. Those were a little bit dry, so when we get to a fresh one, I'll have him to smell it. But anyhow, we're here and I hear something. I look up in that direction, then I could see that whitetail going. There's a big deer, so we may get to show you some wildlife today because they're on the move. Hopefully we see another one, or see that one again. I don't think he'll come back, but we may see another one though. Also, I was telling him, and that's how I seen that deer tail after I'd heard something and looked that direction, but I told him when you're standing here, sometimes stop every once in a while and look up. We get in a bad habit of, me and Paul, I think, of looking down for the ones on the ground. And I was watching that mushroom thing the other day, and it's true. I realized that I don't look up enough. And you want to look at least probably waist high or so, you know, or even up to your shoulder height. And most of the time, the chicken of the woods or the oysters or some of them, they grow on the side of the tree and they'll be up higher, and you're going to miss them if you don't stop and look around every once in a while. Plus you might be missing wildlife out there, and that's just as beautiful. That's just as big a gift as getting to find the mushrooms. But we're proud we found a few mushrooms, and one of them was pretty big, but it was past its prime, so we're going to find us some fresh ones, and we're going to walk and see if there's any water in the creek down here. Plus down here, I got a honey hole that I find the puffball mushrooms on a tree down this area. This little trail we're walking on right here is a deer trail. I don't know if you can see, it's padded down. It's only about half as wide as the one we found yesterday when I took in on our hike with Paul, but it's a deer trail nonetheless. But maybe we can find some. Oh, I hear the water here. We got water at this part of the creek. I told you.
And yeah, like a waterfall.
Yep. It robs all of our water before it gets down there in that little spring thing. That hole in the ground. Cave, whatever. I mean, it's not deep down here, but you see we got water. Grunting like I'm old or something. No, I grunt because I almost fall sometimes, and you gotta gather yourself up and hurt your knees and. He said it's so clear. And we wet our little rags here. Look at these fresh, tender little vegetation down here at the creek. Well, at least there's some water down here. Looky there. Find you some minnows. We wore our boots, and don't get deeper than your boots, buddy. Remember, we ain't got our big waders on today. Woo! Nan just about busted her big hiney there. What is that over there? Is that a blind, or is that what is that, a big rock, or can't tell. All I see is a shadow. Yeah. Boy, this is refreshing. We will definitely be wetting our little towels to put around our neck, and I hope I don't slide on this moss on these rocks and bust my booty before we get out of here, because that will hurt. I'm getting too old to fall, y'all. When I was young, I just spring back up. Not so much no more. What do we got here and show? Looky there. Can you see what he found?
I just found him on a rock over there when I was going to look at the minnows more.
Yep.
I'm going to walk up a little bit. I'm going to let him go.
It's nice out here, but boy, it's hot right here. We might decide that we needed to fish. That one program I watched was Fish and Fortune. Oh, I just seen a little, wonder if I can catch him on there. You think?
I see him.
Kind of point at him way so they can see him. Little Bill Crawdad. See him move?
You think I could probably try and get him?
Well, sure you can. Grab him on the backside there and be quick. And
where'd he go?
He couldn't, right there. He can't pinch you hard enough to. Even if he got you, he can't pinch you hard enough to do anything to you.
Lost him.
I don't know if you guys can see these minnows here either, but
There's a lot right there.
yeah. The rocks look so orange, the lighting, the way it is right here. Thought maybe you could see all them minnows. We used to put minnow buckets down here, little minnow catchers, and we've got minnow buckets too, and get us some bait for fishing. There's some little bit old sun perch and stuff too. See them? Oh, look. The little perch. You see them?
Yeah. He's swimming.
I hope you guys are seeing this. They're just little, but they're so cute.
And beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Man, I really wish I bring my minnow net. I could have caught some.
Yep.
There's more.
Waylon's been fishing. He's always fished, but like he said, a lot. I tell you not to get over your boots, and I think I'm about to.
I almost died.
Yeah, I did too. Did you see my foot? Just look, guys. You put your foot on this. Look. I don't know if it's showing it. There. Okay. It just slides back and forth. Look. Whoop, whoop. I don't think it's showing it. I might have hairy legs. Don't mind me. Been working in the garden. Ain't got time to bush hog legs. Waylon's laughing at me. He thinks Nan's a little silly sometimes. And he'd be right. Nan is just a little silly sometimes. I think y'all's gonna get to witness me busting my butt in this creek. I didn't finish telling you a story. We got sidetracked. Look here where all these by this rock way. I know it's a lot. Oh, and there's much more over here. Look. See them? Oh, the whole creek's full of them. Yeah. Start walking, looking down. I know. Anyhow, I was saying he's always fished a lot and liked fishing. He watching the Arms Family Homestead. I got him to watching that. We like that program. And yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did. I got wet socks and feet. We're used to wearing knee boots or hip boots or whatever, but not these boots that you can't walk in the creek in without getting. They're more like gardening boots. Yeah, we picked the wrong boots for today, buddy. Just because them others are so hot sometimes. But yeah, he likes watching them. And
I found some surprise lilies.
he was telling me he caught a fish the other day, and he told his mom what kind it was. She said, "How'd you know what kind that was?" And he said, "I've been watching the Arms Family Homestead." And she said, "Well, you're a smart boy."
Surprise lily, I think.
That's a flower.
So simple up. Needs some
Yep.
water.
It was kind of like us. We was about all crimpled up needing some water, huh?
Yep.
Them yellow ones there.
Those are so pretty.
I know. Look, those little balls there. I think those are those, you can actually purchase that plant. I think it's a button bush or something maybe, or it may not be a button bush, but kind of looks like it. Similar. Maybe a wild version of a button bush. But butterflies stuff usually love those. Well, heck, guys, I know we ain't gonna find no mushrooms in the creek, but this is pretty
Don't fall!
pretty fun. I might not think so in a minute, because
Don't bust your butt.
I just felt busting my butt again. Ain't them? Yeah, we gotta have the right kind of boots on next time, bud. Okay, so tip of the day. What's
Don't bust your butt.
Yeah, and where?
In the creek when the rocks are slippery.
No, wear the right
Boots.
Garden boots. Don't have the traction for the creek. Nope, 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 nope.
Then I get my sweat.
See, there's another one of those. I don't know what they are.
Then I get my sweating towel done.
You get your sweating towel done. Is that what it's called, a sweating towel? He says he's glad we found the creek. Look at these berries on this one, Way.
Hey, don't forget to remind me I laid the bag down.
Okay, well, looky here. Look, these berries on this tree. Hope you can see them in the video. It's pretty cool. Looks like a butterfly bird paradise here. I've been showing Waylon that we have Boston fern all out here. This is not one. I'll show you when we go back by one, but I was thinking this looks a lot like the house plants that you get. This is that arrowhead plant. There's some pretty plants out here. That one's different, but yeah. I think that arrowhead one's really pretty. Waylon, come look at this plant that's an arrowhead shaped. Remember I was showing you the fern a while ago that I said is like the ones people buy, and we got them all out here. Ain't that pretty? No, that plant there. See, it's in the shape of an arrowhead.
Oh.
Ain't that pretty? There's plants like that.
Like a bird.
Yeah.
It's like in
A bird flying, yeah. There's people that buy arrowhead plants. They look a little different than this, but I think they'd make a pretty house plant too. Not sure about this one either, but I just know it's really pretty with those little yellow flowers. Isn't that cute?
If you look at the bottom of the stem on the other flower, it looks like a mushroom.
It does?
Yeah. Just look down here and...
You mean from the side?
Yeah. Kind of does look like a mushroom.
Yes, I see what you're talking about. The bottom part looks like a little morel, don't it?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Looky here, Way, with those yellow flowers. Pull one of those up so I can see it in the picture. Raise it up so I can see the underside of it. Oh, look at that.
They're beautiful.
Yes. He's like, man, we think everything's beautiful. That's what he was saying about this. I was back down there and he's like, oh, Nan, come on up here and look. He said, this is just beautiful. He said, well, beautiful to me anyhow. I said, well, I think if you think it's beautiful, Nan will think it's beautiful too. Yeah, I might think it's a little gross, but it's part of nature. But anyhow, I don't know if this is all one critter, but if it was, somebody ate way too much, because that's a lot of poop. It's gross. I was trying to see what it ate, to kind of see what kind of critter it is.
Kind of looks like corn and stuff.
Yuck.
Very yucky.
Any ideas what kind of poop it is? What it belongs to? It's a little reddish brown looking, but could be what it's eating. Waylon's like, it could be a little raccoon, but that's kind of what I was thinking. But, well, that's a lot of poop for a raccoon. I don't know if I want to meet that raccoon. Look at all them shiners. And ones laying on their side, they look silver. Tons and tons. I don't know if it shows on here of minnows and shiners. That's another one of them crazy looking trees. Okay, I've lost track of how many times that I about busted my butt here. But anyhow, so we're getting out of this creek. And I didn't only get my I have saturated them and I'm just sloshing in them now. So yeah, it'll be an interesting little walk home. Anyhow, we have our dish towels that we wet down, put around our neck in the creek, and that'll keep us cool on our hike back to the house. And I still think we're going to find something else to show you. Critters, mushrooms, something. Sorry it's been probably a little boring to you guys up till now. We find a lot of things interesting that probably a lot of people don't. But well, we're coming up this trail, buddy. We ain't going on down that way. We're getting further away that way. Yeah, we still got a long ways to walk back in now. We came a long ways this direction. I was just glad to get out there and not bust my tail in, I'm gonna tell you. Can't tell you how many times I almost did. Hey, this little fat girl can still gather herself up. Amazing as that sounds. Now watch me fall while I'm talking to you. And right here is another medicinal plant. I think that's that broadleaf plantain. See this one, Waylon? Ooh. That's another one for medicinal uses. Look what Waylon found. He's found several today. Good job, Waylon.
Thank you.
Anyhow, we had that surveyed a few years ago, and we really need to get down here and put some permanent posts in and stuff where the old fence is back here, obviously, but it's down, and just put it up. as a new marker before those get washed away or something. Oh, look, a shell. It's some turtle. When they flip over on their back, if you see them somewhere when they're still alive and they're on their back, flip them over or they'll die, like that one did. Poor thing. But Waylon just seen this one. Maybe it was coming looking for its friend or that didn't come home. And he just found him and he's sad about it. You never know. Do you wonder what animals are thinking sometimes? Looky there. He had his head out a while ago. Waylon found him crawling through there. We found 4 turtles in the last couple of days. They're out moving now that it's rained some. Or I guess that's what's got them moving.
It's my first turtle I've seen all week. Well,
Well, he was on the river and not with Nan the other days like some of them, but me and Paul seen them. And I got them on video. Look here, guys. I was telling you about all these ferns out here that I showed Waylon. And I told you if I come across them again, I'd show you. They're everywhere. I mean, you could put them in a basket at your house and it'd be beautiful. Nice ones. Look, guys, I know people think that they're just going to be poking out at you, but if I didn't see that little bitty orange piece there, see, they get covered with litter. Watch, Waylon will pull that back there. Yeah. Oh, it got kind of smashed by the rock, didn't it?
just this piece.
Look at that. And that's all hiding under them leaves and stuff. So look for orange pieces. Like I said, you really gotta look because they'll be in the leaves and things. Wasn't expecting that one right in the walkway here. We found a few. Look at that old man. Yeah, don't pull it up. Just leave it. It's better to leave them if they're old and just let them spread their spores. But yeah, there's some old ones out here. Waylon found a white mushroom. Waylon says, "Dang, Nan, look at this big old tree." It's a big one. Every time I see these, I think of what Waylon said. They remind him of sea urchins now. He also said a minute ago, tell him what you said about that dirt over there.
It was like really, really moist that you can buy like from like a store.
He means it's like the nice black good potting soil that you get from the store.
Yeah.
He says it's really black. Look good potting soil, Nan. I like it that he observes things like that. It might not be a lot to some people, but I think that's awesome. And he knows that you can come right here and find it in nature. And there is some. What kind of poop's this, Waylon? Oh, I can see your sea urchins. I'll find it in a minute. Right there. Right here in front of my foot.
Oh, rabbit poop or deer poop?
Deer poop. My sister said that when she seen one of our videos. She's watching it as she's talking to me, and she says, well, that's a lot of rabbit poop. I said, that's not rabbit poop, that's deer poop. That would be a big old rabbit, too. Of course, I don't know. They can poop a lot. We're just real on here. Yep. We talk about body functions and everything else. It's all part of nature, learning stuff. Talking about plants, I've showed him the ferns. Looky there, Waylon. That's those yucca plants down there. See them big, tall, spiky plants? And they're the ones that shoot up that big old stem that has the pretty flowers hanging from it, you know?
Yeah. Those can be like porch ones, too.
Some pretty cool little flowers here. Kind of makes a little carpet. Waylon said he was glad that we knew where we was going. He said, well, at least you do. And he's like, he's going to go the opposite direction when we go. I'm like, you're getting further away from the place further away from the homestead. It'd be further for us to go, and then you're going to wind up on a highway over there because you're going the opposite direction where we need to go. He's like, well, how do you know all this, Nana? I said, this is my stomping grounds for the last 30 years. He's walking over here by this big tree. He says, remember, Nan, because he's been watching those mushroom shows with me, too. He says, remember, Nan, you can find mushrooms by dead trees, too. He's listening. He's learning, folks. So, yeah, like I told him, too, though, don't take off without Nan out here. Don't think that just because you've been out here a few times that you can get out here, because you can get turned around in these woods and get lost. Somebody beat it to it and ate most of it, so it's a little dry. But we found another one. Waylon calls these braids. I'm fixing to walk through this little jungle piece that he just walked through, and I heard him go, ooh, so he about fell. So now I'm kind of worried about going through it. I'm like, yay. These are pretty too. I was telling Waylon, I said this whole time we've been walking back with wet boots. Every time we slosh our foot down in it, it sloshes around and gurgles and sounds like somebody passing gas. I didn't think about it till just now, I promise. We're not out here just crop dusting while we're walking. It is our boots. Yeah, we could dump out probably a quart of water out each boot. Probably it would be a good idea to, but I don't know. Thinking we may get some blisters if it's not got something in there cushioning it.
Squashing it all around.
Yep, squishing all around. Feels like we're still walking in the creek, honestly, don't it?
Nope. So are you.
In the water. Because we got water in our boots. Seems like we're walking in the creek.
Oh, I don't got water in my boots.
You don't have water in your boots?
Nope.
Oh. I tell you not to get it in yours, and I wind up getting more.
I only got a few splashes in it.
Oh, not me. I'm serious when I say I could pour a cup out of each one, probably, or a quart.
Or a whole gallon out of both.
Yeah. Not a comfortable feeling.
I bet not.
He said a minute ago, I don't know about you. I don't know. You probably don't think we went a long ways, but we went a long ways today. We've walked a long ways, and we're tired and hot. And he says, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the other half of my cheddar brat. I'm like, yep, me too. We split them down the center. Didn't eat the whole thing. But when we ate earlier, so now we're fixing to have the other half of that cheddar brat. And drink some water.
After we get to the truck.
Oh, I thought we was finding another bench just sitting before we got there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little ways before the truck, buddy.
Yeah.
We brought the truck down to the creek. And then we took off hiking.
Right. Let's
Well,
leave the
we're
truck.
not as far. I see the truck over there.
Oh,
Yay! We made better tracks than we thought, bud.
Yep,
Seems like it's cooling down a little, ain't it?
Huh?
Maybe it's just because we're under all of this canopy. Look, guys. I was saying I think it's cooling down, but I think it's just because we're under all this canopy. I'll tell you, this is the perfect place out here for mushrooms. And like I said, it's usually a honey hole. Beings, if nobody knows what a honey hole is, it's a place you come back to every year. And it's like if it was a honey hole, you'd get honey from it every time. And out here, we find...
Hear that bird? He's a-singing.
We find tons of mushrooms out here in the same spots every single year. So you keep coming back to the same spots, to your honey hole. Place that gives you something.
Don't know about you guys, but I am sweating.
Yeah. This wet towel around our neck helped, though.
Yep.
And we got sweatbands on.
What you do? I got a hat.
Oh, he put a hat on. He brought a sweatband with him.
Well, I brought a sweat.
A handkerchief.
Yeah. I can use that as sweatband too, but oh well.
I know I was thinking a while ago, I reached down and I felt my armpit and I'm like, oh, that is really gross. I am sweating a lot. And I forgot I put this wet towel around my neck and I didn't wring it out much either. I wanted all that moisture in it.
There's a truck.
Is that mushrooms over there on that? Just some medicinal ones probably, but.
Where?
Yep, over here. See? But all this is perfect place even for the. Looky here, something been eating stuff over here, Way. See us around this tree? Look at all that. That's probably where all our mushrooms went. Yeah, some little squirrels or something, they scavenging them.
Right.
Which, these are medicinals over here, but
Man, we could have been
yeah. Oh, I know, they beat us to it, didn't they, buddy?
Yep.
Something been eating them.
Probably like a hungry.
You getting out of the sawbriars?
Yep.
You don't like sawbriars? Well, I tell you, y'all don't know how many of them yellow leaves there have tricked us so and had us off in the woods looking for a mushroom that turned out to be a leaf under there. I can't believe how many yellow and orange leaves there is out. I told Waylon even rose bushes usually do good. And that some of these old wild roses even are dying back. It's dry. Well, as y'all can see, we're back crossing the creek where it's dry. Now it's crazy that it can be still got water down there, but like I said, there's that spot that's going in to a cave or something, or some place in the ground. We may have the next Lewis Cave out here. Any of the people around this area, they know what the caves are and stuff. But yeah, there's something going on there. Anytime it's putting that many gallons of water into the ground, there's something going on. I told Waylon, these little old bark things that come off the trees, I don't know if you can see them there. We used to draw on those when I was a kid. Anyhow, yeah, it's sad at this end of the creek. Now, on passes, I wonder if it comes back up out of the ground, because now on passing down around the corner on that part of our creek, there'll be water down there too. And this part dry up, it goes in the ground there, and like I said, I don't know if that's where it's coming back out up there, or I don't know. Ain't got that one figured out yet. But when I do, I'll give you an update. Yeah, I guess we'd walked a whole lot further than I thought we had already back this direction. I'm like, Waylon, nice red seed truck. We've been gone a long time. Walked a long time. We had fun though. Don't regret an ounce of it. I'll tell you what. There is the prettiest flowers out here. It's great. Nothing like life on the homestead. Praying for some rain though. Y'all, we got back to the truck. We're coming out of the, what Waylon calls the turnip field. We've always called it the little field or the baby field. I wanted to show you this beetle. Is that not beautiful? Look how deep it is. This is the seed we told you we bought out of Texas, and whenever the fescue all dies out, or it's suffering, riding the struggle bus, then this beetle, it kicks in, and it shines. And it feeds everything when the fescue's struggling. It's a more heat tolerant, and they both do their shining at a different time. We're grateful to have both of them, and we're proud we planted it. Okay, y'all. If you wondered why we drove the truck back here to the creek, look at all that beetle. I will show you through that dirty window. Anyhow, yeah. sure there's lots of ticks and chiggers and everything else we'd have got out there. Okay, don't judge if y'all see dust or any imperfections in the house. We ain't talking about the house. We've been busy in the gardening with critters and mushroom hunting now. We just can't do it all. So, look over anything. Mind your own business. Don't say nothing about the house, but I'm showing you my wrinkly toes. And don't say nothing about the toe job that needs painting either, because I know I need to get myself a manicure. I've never paid for a manicure. I always do my own. That's probably obvious to look at them. See how I told Waylon on the way back in the truck, I said, when I take my boots off and dump that quart of water out there, I said my toes are going to be all wrinkled up like an old man with pink hair. Pink hair, he says. I said, yeah, I got pink toenail polish on. They ain't as wrinkled as I thought they'd be, but they look pretty rough. I rinsed my boots out. Got my toes and feet cleaned, and yeah, but you can see the sock impression, and they're pretty wrinkly from being in those old sloshy boots. We got back in here and Oakley's hollering because he's wanting his treat, you know. But anyhow, I'll quit making you look them toenails that I need to work on. I also need to clip them in case you didn't notice. I'll go back down there and show you. I think I could climb a tree with them things. Look at that. Yeah, just stab them big old toenails in there. I need to clip them. Take toenail polish off. Paint them again. Yeah. Nan's feet. They're getting neglected. Just like the house. Yep. This time of the year, something's got to suffer. And the house riding the struggle bus. Yeah. Anyhow, thanks for following us along. We had a good time anyhow. Waylon said he didn't know if he wanted to go back to that area again because there was too many sawbriars. But he'll change his mind. We had a good time. And guess what you're looking at right there, folks? That's 2 popsicles. Me and Waylon, we decided we deserved a popsicle. We're going to be like they are on Celebrating Appalachia. Old Tipper and her husband on there, they always eat a popsicle at the end of the work day. Well, we worked too. We was mushroom hunting and foraging and walked and hiked and got hot. So yeah, we're gonna eat a popsicle just like Tipper and Matt. We like to watch them too. It's a very educational YouTube channel as well. Thanks for following us along today. We're going to get off here and enjoy our popsicle and try to cool down.